There's a big, like, on the internet discourse of, like, age gap stuff where it'll be like, the guy's 26 and the girl's 21 and they're like, what a predator.
Yeah,
just, like, just stop, everybody.
Well, here's
Shut the internet down.
Well, what do you think would happen if he was dating a 19-year-old, but she was obese and on a rascal? Would they be as mad? Would the women be as mad if it was that?
That's a
probably
very
not.
good question.
No, they'd be concerned for him, I think.
But your point is your point that you're getting at, sort of like, obviously they just don't like a hotter younger girl.
I think even if they don't know it, I think subconsciously that's what's happening.
Yeah, they feel like threatened.
Because if a 19-year-old woman became the CEO of Xerox, I think they'd be like, go girl, how about that? They wouldn't be like, she's not developed yet. But if she became the CEO, they'd be like, whoa, that's the youngest CEO of all time female. How cool is that? So you can't have it both ways.
But if you become the CEO of, smashing Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
They don't like it.
Yeah, no, 100%. But that is...
It's a theory. I'd like to get
I think you're right. I mean, they wouldn't.
A bit of that.
They would just be. They would say, their brains aren't developed for making, because they say that it's like their brains are not developed for this one thing.
Yeah.
But they can do anything else.
Right.
And that's fine. But this one thing.
I could be wrong.
And it's generally older women who are saying this.
Yes.
As
Dude,
well.
there's literally an article that me and Danny were going to talk about that was like, that got released in a bunch of places. It goes, I'm a proud cougar at 52. Women hate me, but I hunt college hunks.
There you go.
And there was this girl, basically, it's pretty... like way weirder than the DiCaprio thing. Like he's basically some girl that she's like at college parties taking photos or whatever. Dude, if you're the 52-year-old like dude and you're like, I go to college parties to hunt fucking college girls.
Hunt is crazy.
You'd be like predator number one.
Well, you don't think this is like in retaliation to all the MILF Hunter videos, and now like the hunted is becoming the hunter?
No, she's being a MILF hunted. Yeah. I guess, but it's so, yeah, but basically she was like, yeah, I'm 52 and I'm like having sex with she's like hunting the guys. Funny, like a frat being like, yeah, 52-year-old girls want to come here and suck us off, be my guest.
Bring them on. I'm a hunk. I'm a college hunk.
Yeah. Sign me up.
But that's the difference. That's why it's annoying when we go, men and women are the same. We're all the same. It's like, so why is one thing scary and one thing awesome?
Sure.
We're not the same. If a teacher fucks a 14-year-old boy, we're all like, high five that kid. Where was that when I was in school? But if it's the other way around, we're like, this guy's an animal. He can't be around kids.
Literally, that guy will get like killed in prison.
Yes.
Like if that guy will go to prison and then they will kill him.
Yes. Sure. We're all the same. Can you walk me to my car? What? I thought we were the same. Why am I walking to your car? Like which one is it?
Sounds like when it's convenient.
In my opinion, the actual, if you're right. For them, it would be the whenever it's convenient. But the real answer is that on physical things, it's not the same.
No.
Yeah.
And there is, but on age things, it is. Like on age things, like it should actually be the same. Like it's totally fine if you want to, like if a 19-year-old and a 25-year-old, it should be the same. Like whatever, no big deal. But on like obviously physical things, like it's not the same. Like if a 40-year-old guy's molesting like a 14-year-old girl, that's way different than a 40-year-old girl and a 15-year-old guy.
100%. And they're both probably wrong and they're both illegal, but the way we look at it, it's not the same.
Well, obviously you have to make laws too, right? That's one of those things where it's like, why is it like, that's what the barely legal porn or whatever, right? Like I'm sure, like the guy that was like, yesterday it was like this guy's a child molester, and today it's like front row of the bodega, they're selling the videos, you know what I mean? The girl holding the ID or whatever, and it was like literally 1 second difference. Like obviously you just have to make
you gotta make sense. Yeah.
The same reason
unless you want to see Stead.
I talked about that a bit on stage, but it was like the same as the cousin stuff where it's like
right.
It's like you can't have sex with your cousin.
Wait,
it's like,
you can't have sex with your cousin?
Someone's getting locked up. You just have to sort of make some you got to draw the line somewhere in these societies, I guess.
And you can just kind of feel it. It's in you. Like I saw a female comedian, she went on stage, she was like, hey girls, I'm dating a younger guy, and everybody applauded. And then the guy after as a goof went up and goes, hey guys, I'm dating a younger girl, and they all went, ugh. And he's like, wait, what happened to equality and all that? And it was a funny moment, and he was making a point, but that's just how it is. The audience they just feel it.
Yeah, I think women, there's this inherent unfairness that they feel with the fact that they have to have kids, and like they have to have the kids, and then eventually like they can't, so they have a window.
There's factors.
Whereas like so many guys are like, I'm on my third family, and like they have 3 full families.
Totally.
And they can, like if they fuck up their family, they can they get another crack at it.
Right.
Whereas like a woman,
if you're Jamaican, you get 9 cracks at it.
Yeah. Where if you're a chick, you're like, you can't be like, oh, I'm 50, I'll just have another family. Have
Which is
2
a
more
huge
kids.
male privilege. Like that's
Huge
a
privilege.
big lucky break we got there. We can go out for cigarettes and not come back.
The lucky break is that you really on no time crunch. And the lucky break for females is if you're on a time crunch, you can always just find a rich guy that's 2 points less hot than you.
Yep.
There you go. And
That's
really
the trade-off.
old.
Like there's not that many versions where you're just like, oh, you know what? I'll just like find some girl to take care of me. You're like, yeah, good luck. You're better off you're better off getting finding a way to get rich.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's why guys do that more.
It does make me think that though when you see the guys that like, are on their second family. Like to be honest, my dad was like a little bit like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just kind of like, when I was like 32 living in Toronto, he had like a, 14-year-old and a 12-year-old, whatever,
wow.
right? Yeah, so it was kind of like they, because I guess if you have kids young enough, like you basically just do it again.
Do it again, yeah.
Well,
I would never want
I
to
mean,
do
Larry King was like,
but so many people do
6
it.
families.
People do it all the time. Yeah.
So it does make you, when you start being like, oh, should I be on this time limit? You're on this time limit. You're like, you could literally just catch up on the second. It's like your friend's running the track and you're allowed to just like kind of jump in.
So, yeah, but women can't do that. And that's why
And that sucks.
Yeah, and that's why I think
They could jump in and be a
mostly
stepmom, but
yeah, but
that's about it.
But that one, I think that one's not that crazy though. Like you could easily even like Chelsea Handler was getting a lot of shit for being like single or whatever.
Yeah.
Like she could easily like date some guy with a 3-year-old right now, some Hollywood producer who's got
That's
a
true.
3-year-old, move in together, and she basically becomes that girl's like kind of mom. And it's like you weren't the mom, but like you did the whole thing
Yeah, you
still.
did the
yeah,
whole
for the
thing.
most part, or adopt, I guess. But again, that kid probably has a biological mother.
All of it's a
assuming
little easier when you're
assuming
rich.
She's not dead.
Yeah, the money is a big factor.
You
that
want
no
the
one
person
talks
to
about.
die, yeah.
Yeah, you do. Ideally, the parent dies. Yeah.
But why would you want to say? I think running a family is so hard and paying for all these kids and wiping ass and changing diapers. Then why would you do that again?
Well, the real reason is if you did it young enough and you're 50, let's say you had kids at like 27 even, right? So 37, 47. So you're like 40, you're like 50 now, your kid's 23 and you're 50 and you're like in pretty good shape. Like we know a lot of like 50 comics.
Sure.
They're like, yeah, I want to date like a pretty hot like 30-year-old.
But you don't have to. I guess they want a kid.
They want it. Yeah, the girl wants a kid, of course.
Yeah.
And then also you're probably like, man, I made so many mistakes the first time around.
Yeah,
Some of it's that, but the real reason is like you're either like, I'm doing this again or I'm dating a 50-year-old.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think what happens.
You're right. I
That's
think you're
true,
right.
yeah. If you want to date a 30-year-old and you're 50, like that's generally what they want.
Yeah.
Like, so it is kind of a tough one because
that's tough.
Or you date like, even if you date like let's say you date like 35 or whatever, right? And then you're like, date someone that already has a 7-year-old kid. Like that's what kind of like my dad did or whatever. It's like, yeah, then you start dating some woman that's like, 10 years younger, whatever, 8 years younger than you. She's like 40, but like she has kids that are 7 and 8. And it was like, well, now she's the mom, so they live with her.
Yeah.
So if you ever move in, like now you've got a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old. So you're kind of doing it again.
Yeah.
True. I guess that's when you just get really distant. You come home, you fuck the mom, you have dinner with them, and then you're like, all right, I'll see you at Christmas.
Yeah, you don't let them call you by your first name.
Yeah.
It's Mister.
Yeah.
Kids call you all Mister. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you want the stepkids to call you Mr. Long?
Yeah. He's like, Dad. You're like, don't fucking call me Dad.
Yeah.
It's Mister.
yeah, you have a dad. He's dead.
Yeah.
That's so funny.